into a modern spy action sequel. I really hope you enjoyed this reimagined version of her story. If you did, don't forget to hit like and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps shape future concepts, and I truly appreciate everyone who takes time to support this channel. Let me know which characters or movie worlds you want to see next. Do you want Salt 3? Do you want more spy thrillers like Atomic Blonde, Red Sparrow, or Bourne? Or do you want fan-made sequels for action movies like Columbia, John Wick, or Anna? Your suggestions guide what I create next. This channel focuses on crafting transformative content using original narration, storytelling, voiceover, editing, and unique scene interpretations. Every fan-made breakdown is built from scratch to offer something new, respectful, and creative for viewers who love action cinema. All visuals, audio, and references used in this video fall under fair use for commentary, criticism, education, and transformative storytelling. My goal is to celebrate these movies through creativity, not replace or replicate them. Thank you again for spending time with me today. Your support, whether through liking, commenting, or subscribing, helps this channel grow and motivates me to keep improving the quality of every project. I'll continue bringing more action reviews, fan-made sequels, character breakdowns, and thrilling story explorations. Stay tuned for more exciting videos, and I'll see you very soon with another intense cinematic journey. Until then, take care and keep enjoying amazing stories.